views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Today we are on location at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Beside me is Christy Stutzman.
All right.
Hello. And,
Hi.
And she's a writer,
Yes.
a singer, what else? Orchestrator,
Right. Yeah. Composer.
composer.
Yeah.
Wow. All in one little package.
Well, yeah. It's a lot of fun. I always like to be I like variety in life. I think we all do. So it's good to be balanced, and I always teach my boys that too. You can play sports, but you better sing in the choir too.
So, you were born here in Fort Wayne area?
No, I wasn't born here.
Okay, where'd
No.
you attend college then?
I went to Pensacola Christian College down in Florida, which was quite a ways away from home, but the Lord called me there, and I had a great teacher. I studied voice, and he had been a former singer at the Metropolitan Opera. His wife had studied at the sung at the Santa Fe Opera, and so they were both very, very good teachers, and I kind of followed them there, but I also felt that God had called me there for biblical training. I was a Bible minor, and so music major with a voice proficiency and a Bible minor.
Wow. So you did major in Bible, minor.
Minored in Bible, yes. Majored in music.
I'll get that. So who had influenced you as you were growing up, basically?
Yeah, I would say the people that influenced me the most would probably be my parents. You know, everybody has their different experience growing up, and so yeah, my parents definitely influenced me. I would say my teacher, my music teacher, Mr. Gibbs was his name, had a great influence on me musically and vocally, and I really grew a lot in college as well. So I loved history, and so I loved studying, and literature was one of my favorite things to study, but history as well. So I loved just kind of doing deep dives into historic things, and I got that from my dad. He was a researcher and loved studying history and the Bible, so kind of got that from him.
My husband's a researcher. He used to work for Christian Research Institute, work for Hank Hanegraaff.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Yeah.
he's still a researcher. He's helping me with my camera work, my editing for my shows. We've been in the business for 14 years.
Wow.
So what inspired you to write your new book?
So this is my new book. It's called The Spiritual Price of Political Silence. And I kind of like to tease that the title itself steps on all the toes, and so we might as well just get it out there and talk about it.
Let's dive in.
Yeah, so the spiritual price of political silence, because I really felt like, and the inspiration was, I felt like we are paying a spiritual price as people of faith in America for not being as politically active and involved as we probably should have been over the last, I'd say, half a century at least. And so when we disengage as people of faith in America, there are different consequences for us simply because we've been given so much. We've been blessed with so much. And with that blessing also comes responsibility.
That's right.
Also comes opportunity.
Right.
And if we don't take the opportunity to be involved and have a say in our government and our leadership and the direction of the country, if we don't take that seriously and we aren't involved, I believe we're going to pay, and you know, the title says the spiritual price. I think there's a spiritual price that we're paying right now with our children in this culture. We are losing them, and we are also we are seeing the effects, the long effects of humanist socialist agenda in the Marxism, in the lives of our children. But we're also seeing a decline in our influence around the world. And I talk about this in the book, where my husband and I, when he was serving in Congress for the District 3 here in Indiana, we were able to go on a diplomatic mission to some Eastern European countries who had been part of the USSR and lived under communism. And when we talked to them, they were very eager to do trade and you know, have a really strong relationship with America. But one of the things we kept hearing was, but please stop exporting your morals. It's ruining our young people. Well, that's really hard to hear as an American. But we understood exactly what they were talking about. Our culture is declining. There are a lot of things that we are losing the battle on, whether it's the, you know, life, you know, the issue of life, exactly. Whether it's the issue of, you know, all the sexual promiscuity we see, the uprise in suicide attempts, addiction to drugs. I mean, there's so many things that our young people are facing now. We have the transgender issue, all these things. Yeah, fentanyl is a big thing.
In a big thing right now.
So there's a lot of things that we're paying the price for, and there is a spiritual price because we're going to lose ground with our ability to minister to others, to spread the gospel, to establish charities and health organizations and educational outreach. All of that is on the line if we are not free.
You know, I noticed that in other countries you send our missionaries out there.
Yes.
We need them here. We need to come back here.
I think there are some that are actually coming here to America because they're concerned.
So the book is written too. That's for everyone here in this country. And your hopes for the book to church versus state.
Yes.
They should be together again.
Yes, the founding fathers made one assumption, and that was that people of faith, regardless of what your faith practice is, would always be involved.
Yes.
And the reason they made that assumption was that they knew that regardless of what government they created, if they did not have a moral guide, if they did not have someone at the table who adhered to the Judeo-Christian principles upon which the country was founded, that pretty soon any government they established was not going to survive, was not going to last. My hope is that that like the founding fathers assumed, people of faith will again take action, that the church will not be silent, that we will be bold, that we will be aggressively bold in our stand for righteousness.
You betcha, girlfriend. You know, this thing happened the church was quiet in Germany.
Yes.
Let's not go through that again.
Yeah.
So, you are interested in music? What kind?
Yes, I love music. Like I said, I studied opera in college. I love musical theater as well. Yes, the theater. So, but I really enjoy Broadway style music, opera. I also enjoy church music, the hymns of the faith, just traditional classic music as well. Movie soundtracks are a favorite of mine because I love studying orchestral music. So a lot of variety there, but very interested in musicals right now because I'm writing some musicals. So that's why.
I like her. She's so full of energy and good stuff too. So you write your own lyrics.
Yes. So I write my own lyrics, my own melodies, and so we get a story. It's usually based on a book that might be, a bestseller. It might be something that's well known, might be a classic. And we take that story and we adapt it for stage. So we have to write a script and decide, which subplots to use and which ones we need to leave out because you only have about 2.5 hours, with your audience. So you have to get it all in. And then we have to figure out where the songs naturally should happen, where it feels right for them to sing a song about what's happening. And so from that point on, I determine the lyrics, and then from the lyrics, I start adding the melody, and then we orchestrate it.
Dang.
So, yeah.
Sounds good.
It's fun.
When did you meet Marlon?
When did I meet Marlon?
Yeah, where?
What were you going to say?
Ooh, okay.
Well, I was actually directing a play in a high school that his brother was attending. And his brother was I call him a little sparkler. He just was really good. And so I invited his brother on a missions trip that did drama in churches around the country. And his brother kind of played matchmaker and got us together. I had met Marlon one time at the performance that his brother was involved with, and we talked. I was really impressed. And then we started emailing, and then we started phone calling, and then we started visiting, and one thing led to another.
What happened? They got married already.
Exactly.
And you got kids, eh?
We do. We got 2 boys.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so 22 and one that just turned 18.
You don't look that age, girl, to have a 22-year-old kid.
Oh, thanks. I love you forever.
I know you do. So he's running for Congress.
Right, Marlon is, yeah.
Indiana federal or what?
Federal, yes. So
Federal?
it would be the 3rd district in Indiana. So that's 11 counties. And so that includes Allen County, Wells County, Steuben, DeKalb, LaGrange, Noble, part of Kosciuszko, Randolph, Jay. So all of those counties. It's the northeastern corner of Indiana.
Oh, that's a lot
so
of
that
territory.
Right. So he would be going to the U.S. Congress, right, in D.C.
And are your kids following suit, you might say?
Well, they both pay very close attention to politics. It's fun to have these discussions with young adults who are now making decisions about voting. And they're analyzing everything that's happening and texting mom and dad and saying, oh, did you see this article? You know, did you see what happened here? And what do you think about this guy? But our son Peyton is involved in Turning Point USA, and he's on the board of his college's TPUSA chapter.
Right.
And he's very involved there. He just drove 2 of their special speakers to the airport the other day and had some one-on-one time with their special speakers.
I know him.
So that was really neat. Preston is a senior in high school and definitely excited about registering to vote for the first time.
Oh, my stars.
Yeah, so he's very very attentive to everything happening on the national scale, international scale, and also state and local.
Local. That's good. That's good. I was going to say, When Calls the Heart musical, you wrote that?
Yes.
It's a musical.
It's a
Tell
musical.
us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So When Calls the Heart, you would probably recognize that title from a best-selling book by Jeanette Oak. She's a very beloved writer. And so she wrote this amazing book series, actually. It was probably before I was in high school. It was a series of about 5 or 6 books at the time. Since then, she's added a couple more. So I read it when I was in high school. Absolutely loved it. I was in love with a Canadian Mountie in the book.
You think?
Thought he was so
I'm
cool.
Canadian, eh?
I see your pin, so that's great.
I'll be
Yeah, so
Canadian.
you've got Canada's flag and America's flag right there. Yeah.
Canada, US of A.
So she wrote this wonderful story, and of course it came out on Hallmark about 11 years ago as a TV show.
Right.
And so we own the Round Barn Theater in Napanee, Indiana, and that was one of the titles that my production company bought, was When Calls the Heart, to be able to make it into a musical. And so we did during COVID. So it had 2 runs, one in 2021 and one in 2022. Went really well, and now we're licensing it across the country to theaters all over the country.
Are you
In fact,
traveling with them?
No, actually, I just license the material, and then they will audition, the people to
thing.
play, and get all the costumes together and everything. And I was really blessed because a lot of the songs I wrote are infused with biblical principles.
Good.
And so it's not preachy, but it's just they're infused with that. And so I was really blessed to hear from one of the directors who just recently directed this show down in Florida at a huge high school down there. And she said that the kids, these high school kids, absolutely love the music. They're walking around singing it. And that I'm sitting there thinking, thank you, Lord, that those principles are in their hearts now forever because they know those songs. And they can learn from them and chew on them as they walk around singing them.
And you're a singer.
Well, I used to be. Yes, I used to be a singer. I don't sing much anymore,
Alto,
but I used to be.
Soprano.
I was a lyric soprano. Yes. Lyric.
I
yes.
write lyrics. I have people singing my songs.
Do you really?
Pro life.
Awesome.
Oh, my stars, I should share that with you.
Yeah.
Got it
We're
on
fist
the back.
bumping all the time
But,
this
yeah,
morning.
Oh. So you're currently writing a new musical.
I am. Yeah, it's another book series by the same author, Jeanette Oak. And it was also been made into movies by Hallmark, and it's called Love Comes Softly. It's my first musical by her, When Calls the Heart, was more of a comedic romance. It was lots of comedy, lots of fun, and then romance. This one has a little more tragedy in it, but with the tragedy comes huge triumph. But then it's sprinkled throughout with a lot of comedy. So it's a good balance.
Commedia.
Yes.
As they say in the old days, hey.
Hey, that Canada's coming out.
Oh, no. I've been here in the United States, 29 years this year, dear? Or 30? October. 29. We should celebrate.
Time
next
flies.
Year. 30
Yeah.
years. Oh, yeah, we've been all over the map there. So, do you work with charities?
Yes, I do. Actually, mostly pro-life charities. That is just a heartbeat for Marlon and I. That's something that we are very, very concerned about and want to be a part of making a difference. And we're so thankful, that Roe v. Wade was overturned. Yeah. But I think a lot of people think that we're done now, and we're not.
No, we still got a lot of work.
A lot of change that needs to happen in our culture, and so we're very involved in that.
Did you listen to the speech last night by Biden?
I did. I tried to.
Mother mercy.
It was challenging at times to keep watching.
Poor guy behind him.
Well, that actually was the entertainment for me, was watching Speaker Johnson. I think he was measured, but very clear in how he felt about certain things that Biden said.
He didn't say a word, but he did have good facial.
He did. He reacted well and just was careful, but you could tell.
Yeah. Your websites, how many do you have? You have Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, Christy Stutzman. I'm also, I have Facebook pages for my music as well. So Music by Christy is another one where you can find my stuff. There's also a website for the musical When Calls the Heart. So When Calls the Heart, the musical, is on Facebook. I have an author webpage talking about the book.
Author.
Yeah, so, but then I have a website, and it's called Music by Christy, CHRSTY.com.
Right.
And then I have another website, booksbychristy.org.
My stars, she's been busy.
Well, we only have one life, so you might as well just do as much as you can, right?
And then go out in a big bang.
Yeah.
Or a little whimper. But I'll go out in a big bang. I know I will. I'll be all right. So, what would you like to share with my audience?
Well, I'd like to share that we're all in this together as Americans, and I really think that people of faith across America need to unite. We need to link arms and to take action and to be bold for truth.
Don't be silent.
Don't be silent. Be kind, lead with love, but also know your stuff. When you're challenged, you have to know your stuff. My 7 times great-grandmother came to America as a Quaker seeking religious freedom. And she was a minister for good to so many people. She ministered to the poor, to the sick, to the needy. During the winter of Valley Forge, General Anthony Wayne, who was her first cousin, who I'm related to, decided that he his farm was too far away for his men to encamp, so he asked her if he could encamp on her farm during the winter of Valley Forge because she lived right close to Valley Forge.
Oh, we're getting some history here.
And so she said, of course, you can encamp here. And so his men were all over her property, and she fed them. She gave them, blankets and took care of them during the winter. And she even saved 3 lives from. He court-martialed them for desertion during the war. And she went to him and she said, Cousin Wayne is what she called him. Cousin Wayne, on my service to you, I would ask for the lives of these men. And he said, on your word. And she saved their lives. But on her deathbed, she said something that has never, ever left me. It's actually become my life motto. And I just want to share it because I think it really applies to all Americans in this crisis. She was dying. Her family gathered around. And with her one last burst of energy, she sat up and she looked at them and she said, be valiant for truth. And then she died. And I thought, valiant is a word that you use in battle. It's not something that you would normally think of a Quaker grandmother saying. But I think what she said to be valiant for, truth, is the most important thing. Being valiant for truth is something that all of us can do. We just have to know the truth, and the truth is in God's word. So we have to be valiant for truth.
Well, I'd like to thank you. Oh, you're going to sign the book?
Oh, of course I will. Yes, I'll sign a book for you. Yeah.
Can you do it now? We've got time?
on the TV show, it'll take a little bit, but we'll do that. I have one right here, and then we're having some more brought in. So.
Okay.
Grab my pen here.
That's my girl.
Where to go? There we go. All right, so who is this to?
That's for Sheriff Troy Hirschberger. Do you know how to spell his last name?
I think so. It's Hersh, right? Okay.
Berger after that. He's only be a sec. Well, not a sec. I interviewed him several days ago. He was a good old chap. We had at least a half an hour with him.
Wonderful.
At our home studio.
Yeah, that's great.
And you can sign the other one off camera.
Okay.
You can sign that when we go in there for Karen Blank.
Okay.
She's the head honcho for Lutherans for Life here in Fort Wayne. So while she's signing, we'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much, Christy.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's been fun.
We'll see you next week. God bless.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away.
I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I've come from. That's the reason why I seem so far away today. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Indiana, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Indiana, you're everything I've ever had. moved and I've kept on moving. I've proved the points that needed proving. I've lost the friends that needed losing. Found many on the way.
I've kissed the fellas and left them crying. Stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled hard, sometimes with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Let me tell you that I love you,
And I think about you all the time. Indiana, you're calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Indiana's been everything I've ever had.
I'm sitting here for the fire, empty room, the forest choir. The flames have cooled, don't get any higher. They've withered, no, they've gone.
But I keep thinking my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow. When hands are shaking and kisses flow, and I will disappear. Let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Indiana, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Indiana's been everything I've ever had. Indiana's been everything I've ever Indiana's been everything. Indiana's been everything I've ever had.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my